Are you looking to go off-grid? Well, here in Valle, Arizona, it's a great place to get a piece of land and to go off-grid. So right now, it's in actually Williams, Arizona, but it's not part of the city proper, so there's not the same guidelines that the city has. They go off of the guidelines of the county. I do want to be real honest with you. It's a lot of just sagebrush, okay? The trees are not tall. There's no pine trees here. It's just pinyon and scrub. These are the roads. So when it snows, who's going to clear the roads? You are. That is the joy of going off-grid if you're not plugged into the city, right? Who's going to get your water? You are, or you can have it hauled. It's 3 cents a gallon if they bring it to you, and it's like 2.5 cents a gallon if you pick it up yourself. And what about electricity? Well, you can either get creative and put on solar panels on your home, or our local electricity company, it's called APS, they will give you a credit of $10,000 to get you set up. I don't know how much the total is, if it's 15 or 20 grand, maybe it's only 12, I'm really not sure. It might depend on how close you are to any electric line that they can plug into. If your neighbors have already gotten electricity to them, then it could be a much simpler process. So all of these things are options. But as what I'm seeing out here is, I'm not seeing a lot of people that live here full time. I'm just seeing like, this is just kind of a random trailer off to the side here. There is a manufactured home right there where somebody could live full time. And then all of this is just empty. Over here, it looks like somebody else has another home. As you can see, there are beautiful views of the mountains out here, and it is windy, so I will say that. If you want to drive to Flagstaff, you have a couple of options. It's either 45 minutes straight towards the mountains, or you can go back through Williams and you can take the freeway where you can drive faster. So one direction, it's going to be only 55 miles an hour, and then if you get back to the freeway, you can go 75 to 85 miles an hour. This is definitely a place where you can play. You can bring out all of your toys, all of your side-by-sides, your dirt bikes, and you can have a great time out here. Let me show you what's across the street over here. Okay, so right behind me, there are two tiny little houses. I don't even know what they are. They look a little bit bigger than an outhouse, maybe like a shed or something. The pink door is really cute. But this just shows that you can really do what you want to out here. The acreages around the land that I'm standing on is about $10,000 to $12,000 per acre. And if you want tall, beautiful pine trees, it's going to be over $100,000 an acre in Williams, or even $250,000 for like half or a quarter of an acre in Flagstaff. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to not have neighbors and you don't mind the wind and the sagebrush, this is a great place for you. I think a lot of people who are in the city and who just are tired of the rat race, this is what they're looking for. So some people have commented that you couldn't give this land away, but you know what? I see a lot of people out here that are eating it up. They're loving it. So I am selling a piece of land to somebody from my YouTube channel, and I'm making $120. So go me. There's not a lot in it for me, but I do want to just share with you guys what's out here. So here you go. Here's one last look. It kind of feels like Tom Hanks' movie Castaway at the very end of the movie when he's like standing at a crossroads and kind of turning around wondering which way to go. That's kind of what it feels like out here. You're definitely not going to have Karen and Joe next door where you can borrow a cup of sugar from, but you're really not that close from two highways that can get you to town pretty quickly, and you're 30 minutes from the Grand Canyon. So a lot of people who are looking to maybe travel the country and they just want a home base, they want a place to leave a trailer or a van, this is a great place because it's so inexpensive. But it really just depends on what you're looking for your way of life. All right, I want to show you guys a comparison of what the land looks like in Williams and what the price differences are. So let's go. Okay, so some of you have been asking for the beautiful tall pine trees. You want land, you want to be in the mountains. Look how beautiful it is here. This is kind of what I think of when I think of Williams. It's just, you feel like you're in the mountains for sure, which you're less in the mountains here than you are in Flagstaff, but Flagstaff has so many different neighborhoods, and Williams is still kind of untouched a little bit. So yes, you can have a piece of land here. This 1 acre of land is only $150,000. So do you want $150,000 land, or do you want $12,000 land? Because you can't have both, okay? You can have one or the other. If you want this beautiful nature right here, you can't put a manufactured home on it. You cannot live in your trailer on your property. You are going to have rules and restrictions. People still have their water hauled here. In Williams, it's very common. It is 3 cents a gallon if you have it delivered, and it's 2.5 cents a gallon if you go and pick it up yourself. So the water hauling part is really not a big deal. Obviously, you're going to have electricity out here. You're going to have neighbors. So right across the street, there's neighbor, 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 and there's neighbors down there as well. This is called Sherwood Estates. It's one of my favorite parts of Williams, but this is not the off-grid living for $25,000 an acre or $6,000 an acre or whatever we're getting out near Valle. But it is a great place to live. So if this is in your budget and if this is what you're looking for, let me know. Okay, so that wraps up our video for the day. Thanks for joining me in another off-grid filming of this area. I actually just found another little tiny home over there. You can kind of be tucked away, I guess. Look at these trees right here. There's a home in there. One last thing I also wanted to share with you, if you park your car out here, you can get a lot of infestation of rodents in your car. I have a friend who they find mice building nests inside their car. Like sometimes it's in the lining of the roof, sometimes it's in their glove box. So keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be driving your van across the country and you bring it out here. You're not going to walk outside and see a bear, but you might be driving down the road and wondering what that noise is, and it could be baby mice that have now taken up your car as their new home. So there's lots of different interesting things that can happen when you're living in this kind of a space. But thank you for joining me on this off-grid tour. Again, all the land kind of looks the same. There's really not much more that I can show you, except for that, you know, you can spend right now I think the cheapest piece of land out here is $8,500. You can get 10 acres for maybe $50,000. So it really just depends on how much you're looking for, but it really does all look like this. It's sagebrush, there's a little bit of taller bushes. There are, I mean, I guess you can call these trees, but they're more kind of like a scrub oak. I did want to address one other comment. Somebody talked about how it's too hot here. It does not get that hot here. We are in northern Arizona. Flagstaff's elevation is 7,000 feet. So I think right here we're between 5,000 to 6,000 feet. You're probably not going to get as much snow as Flagstaff gets, but you don't need to worry about the heat out here. You're going to have to worry about the snow and the cold. I think somebody tried to have a container house out here and they just got too cold. They couldn't figure out how to keep it warm. So those are going to be more problems to look out for more than the heat. We're not Phoenix. We are definitely 2 to 3 hours. This location is almost 3 hours away from Phoenix, and they're just different climates. We're the high desert. We're not the normal desert. We're high. This is a quick example of what you can find if you go on Zillow, just north of Williams, but before you get to the Grand Canyon. This is the Valle area, and there is so much land for sale. I'm just popping through on different options to show you the different prices. And this very last one that I look at actually looks like it does have more trees right here. Beautiful views and more trees. So definitely hop onto Zillow and look around and let me know if you want to see any property.